Good evening and welcome to the Score Sunday. March Madness is upon us. Today is Selection Sunday. College teams ready to see where they'll end up in the NCAA tournament bracket. But as the basketball season winds down, spring sports are ready to amp up. Some great weather this week for outdoor practices as we hit mid-March. Coming up tonight, we'll hear from the Quad City Steamwheelers on the upcoming indoor football season and how the team is shaping up heading into opening night on Friday. Our FCA Story of the Week will feature the other side of the court during March Madness. Dan Pearson shows us how it is to fall short in the postseason and navigate the emotions that come with it. And a local basketball star announces where she'll continue her athletic career in college. The standout freshman, who is the #1 recruit in Iowa, will tell you where her offers were from and why she made the decision to go out west. Less than a day after Fran McCaffery is dismissed, there's another major shift for the Hawkeye program. Iowa star forward Owen Freeman announced on social media that he has entered the transfer portal. After being named Big Ten Freshman of the Year a season ago, Freeman averaged over 16 points and led the team in rebounds and blocks in 19 games played this year. He suffered a season-ending hand surgery in late January. The Moline grad has 2 more years of eligibility. This could be the first domino of transfers to fall for Iowa, with the firing of McCaffery opening that 30-day window for all the Hawkeyes to enter the portal. Welcome back to the Score Sunday. The Quad City Steamwheelers kick off the season this Friday. I'm joined now by head coach Corey Ross. Thank you for coming in today.
Thank you for having me, absolutely.
So, we're in mid-March. Are you excited it's finally time for the indoor football season?
Yes, we are. We're so excited. I think the guys are more excited than I am just because they've been hitting each other for the last 10 to 12 days. So to be able to get a game on Friday, this coming up Friday, against another team is going to be fun for our team.
Yeah. So what should Steamwheeler fans expect out of the team this season?
Fun, high-flying, high-scoring, and we'll get some stops on defense, but just a fun atmosphere. Indoor football has always been like that, being able to communicate and have fun with your fans right next to you, being able to sign autographs with our players at the end of the game, have conversations with them. It's just an exciting atmosphere to be a part of, and obviously we want to win some football games too.
Yeah, and talking about the atmosphere, how important is it, playing at Vibrant Arena and having the fans show up for you guys?
They've been our 9th man. Only 8 guys can play on the team, but the fan base for us has been our 9th man, and they show so much love, and they have a passion for this football team, and we have a passion for the game, and I have a passion to coach. My players have a passion to play, and so we're just excited to be back, and we're ready to rev this thing up and get this summer started.
Yeah, who are your key returners you have coming back for this season?
You have Jordan Vesey, a local kid, Kevin Rudd. He's another local guy. I call them my local legends.
Yeah.
They're back from this past season, but you also got some defensive guys, some defensive player of the year, or one of the defensive player of the year, D lineman, and Keyshawn Moore. Our kicker's returning; he was all league, and Kyle Kaplan, and you got Malik Duncan, who's been a stable for our team for over some years, and Bubba linebacker. So we got about 8 or 9 guys from returning from last year back.
So how important is it to have that leadership on the team, those strong returners?
I mean, it's huge. One, they know the community. They know, how we are as a coaching staff in the unit and how we want the people to adjust when they come out here, the new guys. And so they know how we are and they know how to get things addressed accordingly. But in all, they know what we want as a operation, and to instill that kind of love and passion to the next guy, just so they can all love this Quad City area and what we do here and how much fun we have in the arena.
Yeah, and obviously to have those returners. What about the new pieces, the new players you have coming in? Anyone you're really excited about?
I'm excited about so many of them. We have 2 new quarterbacks. That's going to be new for the Quad City fans that will see our Steamwheelers. They're very active, very veteran leadership roles. Both have the ability to play some really good football, and so that's going to be fun to watch and see how that starting lineup enjoys itself. 2 new linebackers. We got 4 new receivers, 2 new defensive linemen. So we're spread out new, but I think the fans are going to learn to love a lot of our guys because their character and just how they are, the passion they play. But they love people too, and just at our season ticket thing, I got to see how they are reacting with the fans. It's already fun.
Yeah, and I know obviously very early on you said you've had about 10 practices, correct?
Yes.
So how have you seen the team sort of gel together early, and just what would you say the team dynamic is right now?
They're falling in love with each other. I like to teach caring about the next man, and so that's when we practice, we're practicing twice a day. We're trying to get these guys as much reps as they can to get to know each other, get to feel for how each other play, and just bounce that, from each other. And so they're falling in love with each other, and for me, that's the best part about it, because if you can fall in love and be in love with the man next to you, you're gonna play hard, and they are, and I'm proud of that.
Yeah, and you've been here as head coach since the Steamwheelers, came to the Quad Cities. So, over your 7 years here, just how have you seen the program develop?
Well, the best part is just our partnerships in this community. Without them, we don't develop, right? And so we're getting more and more involved in the community. There's more and more partners that can be involved and want to help out in some way or some capacity, and just to help keep this team going, and just having this kind of experience and excitement at the the Vibrant Arena, and because it's changed so many times. I'm sorry about that. But yeah, just having that kind of energy and funness, and just something for the community to come out and be a part of, it helps us. And so, the fan base has always been special, but our partnerships has been the best thing for us. It allowed us to grow.
Yeah, and the season's starting Friday against the Green Bay Blizzard. You guys got a big win over them at the end of last year. How big would it be to start off the season getting a win over that team?
Well, it's good. Last year they knocked us out the playoffs, so that was the last game we had. It's the bad taste in our mouth, but we get to open up with them, and so we get to start it off fresh, and then we get to show them who we are, and of course they're going to want to show us who they are. But I got a real good feeling that this group is going to come together, and we really want it's a home game, and our ninth man is going to be crazy. Our fan base, we need it loud so we can come out there and show out.
Yeah, and with you guys making the playoffs last year, obviously, is that a goal this year? Is that the expectation?
It's always the goal. It's always the expectation, and we want to get into the championship game. We start one game at a time, so that's the only way it works, right? So Green Bay comes in this Friday night, and we want to make sure we walk away, with a 1-0 record.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you so much for coming out here today and
Appreciate
talking about the Steelers season. Yeah.
Absolutely, we're excited. I'm excited to be back.
Yes. All right, it's halftime. Next on the Score Sunday, the FCA Story of the Week. Dan Pearson shows us the other side of the court during March Madness. Stay with us. March Madness on the high school courts is in the books. Throughout the postseason, we see March Gladness and March Sadness. One team advances, the other sees the season end. FCA's Dan Pearson checks the other side of the court as players and coaches cope with a tournament loss.
It's the happiest of scenes played out on March Madness courts all over the country and over again. Hoisting that plaque to mark special victories. So exciting. Those tournament games offer incredible and compelling play, but also anxiety as months and months of work come down to single moments. It's called March Madness after all. The Rock Falls Rockets, after a magical run to the Elite Eight, was on the other side of the court in their super sectional game with Chicago Christ the King.
At first, it's like, it's all right, and then it all dawns on you. I mean, nothing can prepare you for this, especially even if you're going to college for anything, for sports or anything. But I mean, it's just a feeling that no one has. I mean, it's just something that you're not prepared for, and I wasn't prepared for it.
Rocket head coach Zach Sandrock and staff prepared relentlessly game after game in hopes of not being on the other side of the court. But it's a reality of those tourney games, game after game.
The tough part is these guys, some of them we're never going to see in the gym again. I'm never going to get to coach again, and that's the bummer. We can win, go on. You win the last game of the year at that state championship, that's your last game. And the biggest heartbreak is losing those seniors.
The relational piece runs deep, especially in moments like this, when players, coaches, parents, and fans see it ending.
It sucks that we had to end out like that, but I'm honestly super proud of the team and how we've held our composure, especially throughout this postseason. I mean, we weren't suspected to go through this, and it feels good. I mean, obviously we don't want to go out like that, but I'm hella proud of this team.
We made it to the Elite Eight. These boys worked hard. They got everything that they deserve. This senior class is going to be missed. Glory to God for allowing us to get to this point.
The power of sport, a common cause bigger than any game, is front and center as teams compete, win or lose.
This is not our identity. Being a basketball coach, being a basketball player, that's not our identity. My identity is in Christ and a follower of Christ, and that's what you lean on. You put the anxieties, the fears, the losses, the wins, you put it on Christ, and gives you peace.
Now, through the years, some really smart coaches, players, parents, and fans have taken advice from Dr. Seuss. Don't cry because it's over. Smile because it happened. With the FCA Story of the Week, I'm Dan Pearson.
Thanks, Dan. One last break. Next on the Score Sunday, the first ever Western Big Six baseball banquet. We'll show you the event and hear from the coaches ahead of the upcoming baseball season next on the Score Sunday. This time of the year, you never know what Mother Nature will be throwing at you, but this week has been absolutely perfect for spring sports practices. United Township Soccer is coming off a great season where they finished second in the Western Big Six and made it to the regional championship game. With plenty of talent coming back, the girls are enjoying being outside to show off their skills instead of being cramped inside the gym.
You're finally getting out onto a field. Being inside, stuck in a gym, you can only do so much, especially, you have 50-some girls in a gym. You're only doing so many things. You're pulling girls out, into the hallways to do random stuff. So finally getting outside, get on the grass, be able to move the ball around and actually get to some good conditioning going too as well.
Last week, obviously, we were in the gym, weren't getting very good touches. It's hard for us to really get good gameplay, know what it's like to connect on the field and stuff. So I'd say it's super important.
Nice because we get a lot of real life game scenarios when we're out here, and we get better touches on the ball. Obviously, the playing on the gym floor is really difficult, and we just need to prepare for our first game.
Spring sports teams begin playing games this next week. And with those spring sports starting up, that obviously includes baseball. The first ever Western Big Six baseball banquet taking place this week. All the Western Big Six teams meeting up and celebrating baseball season starting up. Each coach talked about their teams and caught up with the other coaches ahead of the season. The conference happy to have their own banquet, and they say it's much needed to celebrate high school baseball in the Quad Cities.
Got a really good community that supports high school baseball around here, so it's good to come out here and recognize the things that we do out here. It's awesome. It's exciting. They always do it for basketball and football, and people have always reached out to me and wondered why they didn't do it for baseball. So, I'm excited they do it.
We get the opportunity to talk about them. So, shout out to Kevin Corrigan and the Friends of Douglas Park for putting this on. It should be a really, really fun night. Probably something that's long overdue. Our basketball and football friends have been doing it every year for a while now. So, it's an awesome experience. It's really good for our athletes.
The regular season begins this next week. High school girls basketball news. A local freshman standout announces her college commitment. Clinton's Jayliana Guy commits to Stanford. The freshman had offers from UCLA, USC, Miami, and more, but says from the jump, Stanford felt right. Guy is the #1 recruit for her class in the state of Iowa, and some publications have her as high as 6th in the country. Jayliana says the process has been humbling, and she's grateful to share this moment in the community she grew up in.
Like the best of both worlds, I feel like. Not only the academics, but the athletic side is obviously very great, and they have a very winning legacy or tradition, if you want to call it that. But just the coaching staff, how they treated me and showed nothing but love to me and my family, just led me to commit to them. Stanford is it's just a different feeling, Like Coach Pay told me, it always sticks with me. I still think about it every day. Is she told me, she was like, you don't want to have an opportunity to go to Stanford or not. So that just really kind of topped my decision off.
Jayliana will play at Clinton next year. Here are this week's Midwest Technical Institute Score standout nominees. We'll start with Divine Burridge from Davenport North. The senior is named first team All-State. And Max Bergmeyer from Central DeWitt, the senior had 14 points in the state quarterfinal. Here are the rest of the Midwest Technical Institute Score standout nominees. Gracie Furlong from Galena, the senior is named first team All-State. And Kennedy Quinn from A-Town, she's also named first team All-State. You can vote for this week's Score standout nominees by visiting WQAD.com. The poll will be on the sports page and the score page. You have until Wednesday at noon to cast your vote, with each week's winner being featured on Off the Cuff.
Time to go off the cuff with this week's Midwest Technical Institute Score Standout winner. It's Kateem Heald, a senior here at Rock Falls High School. And Kateem, what does it mean to you to be a Score Standout winner?
I mean, it feels great. I mean, I just like to thank all my teachers and all my parents, all my family for giving me this opportunity and for believing in me.
What's the best gym or atmosphere that you've ever played in?
Probably, I mean, best atmosphere is definitely our last game in Sterling at Super Sectionals, but my favorite gym is probably Rock Falls. I mean, just the community and all the people getting together and watching us play, I mean, I love it.
If you could play one-on-one against anybody, who would you want to play one-on-one against?
Probably LeBron James. I just think he's my GOAT, so, I mean, it would be an honor to play against him.
Do you score against him, or does he shut you out?
I'm humble enough to know I wouldn't score, but I mean, I'd try.
You try though, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So obviously here in Rock Falls, there's a couple restaurants that a lot of people like to go to.
Yeah.
Are you an Arthur's or Angelo's guy?
More of an Angelo's guy. I mean, I typically don't eat neither, but I mean, if I had to choose Angelo's, I'd probably get some spaghetti or some masticholi.
You can't go
it's
wrong.
a good choice.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with that.
Or spaghetti pizza. Spaghetti pizza.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's probably, yeah.
That's a good one. If I gave you, or not me, but if somebody gave you $1 million, what would you do with it?
Probably buy both my parents a house and just set them up for life, I guess. Invest.
Excellent. If you could vacation anywhere in the world, where would you like to go?
If I could vacation, I would go probably to Kosovo or Albania to see my family over there and just explore all the European traditions and all that.
Let me ask you about your name, Kateem. What does it mean?
It means memory in Albanian, so it's pretty cool. I mean, I guess a lot of people get it wrong, but it's Kateem.
And do people call you Timmy?
Yeah,
right.
I get called Timmy by all my friends.
Which one do you go by?
I mean, I like to be called Kateem, but my friends just stick to Timmy.
Perfect. Kateem, thanks for going off the cuff.
That is our show for tonight. We'd like to thank you for watching, and we hope to see you back here next week for the Score Sunday.